is up, misfits, and welcome to this night's Midnight Ranting on Is Saying Trans Women Aren't Women Transphobic? Where we indeed are having a modern debate-inspired after-party. So won't you join us for some fun in, I guess, the transgender sun? Not sure what a transgender son would be, but nonetheless, welcome everyone. Thank you for joining us out there on the inner tubes. Please don't forget to like, follow, or subscribe. There, I said it, YouTube. I said it. You can let them go now. Anyway, then you can hit that bell icon so that you can get reminders to see our premieres or join our live streams. But what is up, y'all? I will do the shout outs in a moment, but it was a fun debate. I do not think James is going to be here tonight, but I am sending love to James W. And I'll send love. If you hit that bell icon to all and you become a subscriber and you're in this live chat, I can say hi to you. Like, what's up, davegar? What's up, Mac? What's up, Robin? What's up, Sinister? Mwah, mwah, Ravioli. Everybody, Derek, keep on saying hi, and I'll say hi to you. What's up, Empathy and Respect? Classy. We have just had, indeed, a debate over at Modern Day Debate. I'll do a very quick spiel, and then I'll open it up to the open mic. Anyone that would like to join will be able to. But I thought it was a fun debate. I know it got very spicy between, First Amender and Alex and Isabella. It's so odd in that I am sometimes so passionate about especially religious subjects and things like that, though I do love my religious brothers and sisters. In fact, we have many members of the Skeptic and Ranting community here at Thea, so send in love. I saw someone was saying they were a conservative Christian. Welcome. We are very big tent. I will say we tend to lend towards skepticism. We are skeptics, but atheist, theist, come one, come all. Yes. I'll send some shout outs and then I guess I'll just go over some few notes about the debate. But I notice how moderate I get, but maybe that's a good thing. Once I'm in front of people, I just find it so hard. And see, the thing with Alex is that I've talked with him before. I met him, I believe, at the live debate that we've had in DebateCon. And it was actually another civil debate, if I do remember. And so, as sometimes inflammatory as I know some of the speakers are, I think it's because of just the comedian in the back of my brain. I end up having good discussions, which is what I think happened tonight. I like First Amender. I know he gets a lot of flack. I think he said a lot of valid things. The one or two things that I would quip about, but he still did pretty good. But I'm still sending love to my debate opponents who, when it comes to politics, we're trying to figure each other out. But all right, I'll send out the quick shout outs because I'm already basically ranting about the debate. But sending love to many ways to support the channel. You can do super chats, and I'll dance around because I like to dance. And there are our channel members with our evolving badge system. Just because, We like evolution. We can't help ourselves. And our Patreons at patreon.com/Amy Newman. Sending love to all of our supporters out there, like Azo reminding us we have a skeptic community, Chris Disciple reminding us there are theists in that skeptic and ranting community, davegar reminding us that the earth is round, and 4.5 billion. Dale Pastel reminding us we like empirical evidence. I talked a little bit about how this debate really is both about biology and sociology. I don't think you could ignore one without the other, because I think one flows from one into the other. Rachel Holen reminding us we should not get our slaves from the nations around us. We should get them from, well, go out to a fantastic gay bar, or a straight bar. Do they make bisexual bars? Sending so much love also out to Ian Davenport, reminding us the theological apologetics have a little bit to desire. I thought it was so funny. We did an episode the other day with Banana Man, and why is his name escaping me right now? And yet I know his nickname more than I know. But sending so much love over to him and all of the people who disagree with us, and sending love to Ian Davenport and to Regos reminding us we have a skeptic Bible study. All right. I think I've done everyone, sending so much love to them and all the supporters who keep the lights on. Any comments? In fact, feel free to tag me at Amy Newman, and I'll show your comment up there. Ray Comfort, my goodness, my brain really is melting. Or Brett Keane. I need to look up more stuff by him if he's still doing stuff. I used to keep up better tabs on my theist brothers and sisters. Should watch more praise streams. What's up, Woo? What's up, Fenton? What's up, everybody? How do you guys, gals, everything in between? How do you feel about the debate? I thought that I went in hoping that I would be a good representative. I've heard a lot of positive feedback from y'all, so that makes me feel very good. I know that political debates can get a little feisty. It's funny, even though I tell James I continue because of what I think is a little bit of reactionary politics have been more liberal lately. And yet when I'm in front of people, I feel like I am just driven to compromise. I still want the things that I want, and yet I feel like you have to figure out what they emotionally want. And if you can figure that out, I think you can have a better conversation. And you don't talk as much past each other. I don't know if that makes for a better or worse debate, but I think that it makes a good conversation. John Vance, that's funny. Welcome. What's up, John? What's up, everybody? I enjoy being in between. I don't know if I'm gay or straight, and thus we just like to have all the fun. They say we're greedy, but I think that bi's just, we just love everybody. Thank you, empathy. The cult of atheism. I am woke. I know, it's weird. I will use that word in what I think is the proper context, but I don't like the way that people who don't like woke people, what you view as woke, I don't like that either. I don't think that's what woke is, because what you're saying is a cat went in. I can't help What you're saying is you don't want whiny people trying to control you and micromanage your life and moralize you and all this stuff. And I think that's what wokeism has become as a word. I think the original meaning, I'm more woke than you. What's up, Kev Kev? I just think that the original idea, being politically awake and open-minded, especially to things of social injustice, the question is, who is the target of this social injustice? Who are we benefiting? Well, that may differ. Maybe a dozen different groups. But unfortunately, a bunch of these concepts, they, well, I would say actually the right now is better at that game, at that language game. And it's complicated because as someone who sending so much love, empathy. Oh, I can't help it. All I do is rant and rant and rant. Though I was driving James, I think, crazy with my mute button. I can't help myself. I mute, like I talk, and then when I stop talking, my instinct is to hit that mute button. I love you, and so does Jesus. Well, I love you too, empathy. I don't believe that Jesus is still alive, but I think he said some okay things. Some even I would even say good things. But I think he's dead. But that's the complicated thing that I'll continue to say with religion is that when the metaphor becomes literal, I think is when you lose any of the meaning of it. That doesn't mean that we have to throw away the stories. It's just I would find more value in that. But thank you so much for the support, and we should laugh. Some of those comments, oh my goodness, I could not help but, and I know sometimes smiling almost feels like you're giving a point for people, but both sides said funny things tonight. Not to mention, I mean, if I was debating Alex Jones, as much as I disagree with all of his politics, basically every single thing, I guarantee you I'd be laughing because just the things that he and I think it is the comedian, is that I just can't hate them. I can't. I know that we're all just humans. I didn't undo your dignified hard work. I think you passed, my friend. Oh, thank you. Oh, then is he who comes off of that? Well, I'm sending love, DVK. I like both of them. I think are pretty attractive ladies, which is funny. I think Blair White. I used to have a Blair White impression. This is terrible, but here you want to hear. You want to see my Blair White impression? I love Blair though. I'm teasing. You roast the ones. You know, I disagree with some of her politics, but she's she can defend her position, and she looks perfectly cute. And in a second, who's Blair White? She's a more conservative. I don't know if she's religious or not, but she thank you, classy. She's a more conservative trans lady. But I can't knock her because again, if I were to, I don't want to do the cheap ad homs. I like roasting. She does. She does, davegar. But there's nothing wrong with that. Do you think the tension, ravioli, do you think the tension with this debate topic may arise the way humans are categorized into men and women and trans, non-trans? Yes. I mean, we are kind of having a category debate. One side says, it has to be this way because we're going from biology, and this is what the scientists who you liberals are supposed to worship so much. Aren't you going to follow them? And then the liberals saying, well, it's more of a sociological phenomena, a cultural phenomena. And so it's really just us trying to figure out how we organize ourselves. She's Christian now? Oh my goodness. I would criticize her more than that than anything else. Oh, that's what bothers me the most with what is the British Russell Brand. He used to be, can I tell you, if you watched Russell Brand's old stuff, and I'll open it up in a second because, I feel like I've said my piece and I'd be open to hearing anyone else's, and we'll go for a little while. But Russell Brand used to be treated horrible by women if you watch a lot of his older things. They used to basically just sit there and be like, you're so pretty. We should probably just talk about that. And he's like, I have a mind too. But now he's gone more of a route of he's become more of that conservative Christian, though sending love to the conservative Christians, like I said in chat. But yes, I think if no one else has any other questions, because I feel like I answered most of them, I made my case that I just believe that we should try to be decent to each other. If I had to sum it up, we were talking, the topic is trans women, aren't women transphobic? In fact, I had my little booklet, and really it all just breaks down to being an asshole to a transgender person for being transgender. Now, there's going to be a wide variety of interactions in between. As I said, if a transgender person is doing something, they're being an asshole. They try and cut in line. I'm just trying to make up a scenario. But, well, that has nothing to do with gender or sex. That's just who they are, and we should be able to criticize them. And thus, I don't think it matters really what group we really talk about. Let's give that person within that group respect, whether they're a different race, whether they are a different gender, or whether they are something else, a different religion. But all right, I am going to open it up. You can tell my gears are rolling also without a co-host. I'm sending so much love. The bathroom? Okay, I can explain the bathroom. See, the bathroom is one of those things where, first of all, I'll tell you my bias, and then we'll go into possible solutions if we really did have to solve it. So, because I have been transgender for many years, and I've gotten to the point where the bathroom, I generally forget. However, we do want to protect. I think there's a reason. I know there's a reason why I want to be separated from biological guys who feel they're guys, because I think that women, biological and trans, actually have more of a threat, or we face a higher threat. Nonetheless, we could solve this by maybe, instead of narrowing things down and trying to kick one group to one side or the other, well, there's ways that we have handled this on the micro scale. If you go into a bar, you'll see signs that will jokingly, they're one-stall bathrooms that will say, whatever you got, just wash your hands, and things like that. And the future may be stalls or ways of protection that it doesn't matter whether you are a guy or a girl, it doesn't matter what equipment you have. It allows people to prevent, let's be frank here, perverts from spying on anyone. because that is the concern. We want to protect. I hate to say the joke is women and children. Those are the ones, but we really should be protecting everyone. We don't want bad people doing sexual, perverse things in places where they shouldn't. And I would say there are ways in which we can basically make it a fair game just for every human. I'm kind of thinking of universal design, like closed captioning. Closed captioning helps everyone. It was made so people who have hearing problems are able to read. But if you also work at a pizza place that's just really loud, it helps you too. And so universal design, when you think bigger and make it so that everyone is safe, you end up solving solutions, again, for everyone, no matter what their gender or their sex. Do we want to invest the money to get that infrastructure? I don't know. That's for the public to decide. If we are that invested in it, I don't. Here's my feelings-based thing. I don't think it's as big as a problem. I think we do have problems with perverts. I think that's the thing. But if that is the way forward, and we do end up making a solution to where it makes everyone fair, exactly, get in, get out, then that's fine too. It's honestly, the breakdown is both sides in every situation go, well, this isn't fair for insert whoever. And both sides generally lift each of these groups up and say, well, which one should be the one that's safe? And generally the answer is both of them. We're going to have to figure out, solutions. It gets more difficult. I like rank, like bathroom, locker rooms, sports, in terms of difficulty, amount of effort and time that we're probably going to have to invest. And yet, I care about sports the least. So good luck with that one to all of you. And I'm sure we can figure out bathrooms and locker rooms, because that's really just about transgenders integrating into society. Let me ask 4 questions. Okay, if you're asking them to me or just the public, but then I think I'm also going to tee up. We'll see how long we go. We might just go for an hour or something like that, but it's still fun to have the ability for people to say what they want. You're going to hear clickety clack. I know everyone loves keyboard ASMR. Panel, you can at blah blah blah. There we go. And I will pin it. But again, my highlight is that it was a fun debate. I'm very thankful to James. I'm very thankful to my debate partner. And I even had a good conversation with my debate opponents. So, sending love to everyone out there. I know I'm probably spicier on religion. I know where I am on politics. I even say I'm getting more liberal. Can I tell you the kicker? I'll tell you the kicker, why I truly can't hate anybody. You all, who you may not know if you're new to this channel, but I am not that big a fan of Donald Trump. But I'll tell you why. Here's the problem, the conundrum with me trying to hate someone who wears a red cap that says MAGA. Okay? I just saw a video. I think it was Young Turk's video. Oh, I'm biased. That's how woke I am. But they were interviewing people at a pro-life meeting. And, it was a very simple petition. It was, please give children school lunches. And I think the other was for like children to have health care. But for like the first good 7 minutes, he could not get a single person to sign this. He got so much flack, and he did his shtick, which I thought was good. And as I was losing hope, there, alas, at minute 8 or whatever, here's this guy, MAGA hat, looking at the petition, and they're explaining it to him, and he goes, "Oh, just feeding kids lunch? Well, I'm pro-life." And he says, "Not one person has signed this?" And they say, "No, not one person has signed this." And he sits there and he goes, "Well, kids should be healthy and they should have food." And he signs it. And now I have to sit there and process that, because here's my conundrum. I really do dislike this advent. And yet, Trump supporter, at least one, sat there and was okay, from my perspective, to give children lunch and health care. DEI petition, I know. But I guess what I'm trying to say is, as much as I disagree with people, there's always going to be examples of those who, although we disagree, they're actually decent people. DEI petition. Yeah, I'm for DEI too. For DEI with merit. We talk about, we would have to get into meritocracy. The problem is, what people don't want is, people just don't want people being selected for that color with no qualifications, and thus they go, "Here, Jim Bob, you are insert transgender, insert color, insert woman, and so you get the position." But the problem is, I'll tell you what the minorities, okay, people who are against DEI, let me tell you what the other side is, though. And at least help us solve that if you don't want DEI. Minorities, women, and the LGBTQ will say, "But we were doing the right things. We got the degrees and we got the qualifications and we worked hard." But if you look statistically, it's all straight white men in these positions. And you go, "It's great that you even had this, program." But I guess the question is, we want to be a merit-based society, but how do we get there? Are we there already? We just say it now? Empathy and respect is on. All right, we are going to go. I will give us empathy and respect. It's been a 30-minute intro. I'll give us 30 minutes alive, and then we will call it a wrap. But I will say, right before I get where is that link? If you would like to join, see, now I can't see it. I'm pretty sure I pinned it, though. Please feel free to join our panel. The link below. We are going into our open mic. Is saying trans women aren't women transphobic? We're about to find out. Woo, what is up? Back to welcome. I hope you're doing well. And what are your thoughts about the debate, the topic, anything we can talk about?
God, those kind of things really hurt me whenever it really starts to go sideways. I thought it started off pretty civilly, but I really would like to see the rhetoric toned down from both sides. I mean, it really causes me pain, from someone who suffered through some of this stuff. And as a Christian, seeing the way that some Christians speak to people, it's makes me very uncomfortable.
Sure. I
But
wish we could have more civilized debates.
I do want to say one thing though. They edited my comment. I did say you're crazy, just for the record. I wanted to say you're weird, but I thought that would definitely get censored. But I didn't say I disagree with you. I said, yeah, I think you're crazy. But that's a good thing. That's what I like.
That is
I like about
okay. In fact, I have a joke in this household, and I say that's okay. It's the normal people that you gotta fear.
No, but Amy, I just do want to tell you something. I'm not even sure if you remember this several back years ago, but I was being harassed unmercifully online by not really even trans people. It was more like the trans extremists or the how do you call it? Like the what do you call the people like activists? Okay, because most of those people were just straight cisgender people, but um but they do have this this idea that if you disagree with someone, you hate them or you want to see something bad like happen to them. Like Amy, if I was around you and people were doing that, like I'd put myself like in front of you to sorry, sorry. This kind of stuff makes me emotional,
No,
because I know I'm just yeah, I'm sorry that we can't have these kind of conversations more civilly, or that people have to present that if you disagree with somebody about someone or think that they're wrong in a situation that you hate them or that you'd want to see something bad happen to them, because that's not at all the case for me.
sure.
Sorry.
So, and you're right. It is a very emotional subject, and I would say that it can be tricky, especially I would say with first coming out. I would say that we may be more sensitive to things than maybe years down the line. Simple questions, maybe. I hate to use this word, but I mean it literally. I don't mean it as a joke, but can be triggering. And I've seen,
Right, right.
videos where my heart goes out to the transgender person because I know why they're reacting that way. I know that the conservative, the religious person, they go, "Oh, look at this person.
Hmm.
They're throwing something so out of proportion." And I would say that comes from a reaction of maybe a lot of build up emotions. You're finally able to come out. And then I
Hmm.
would say it's walking on eggshells or trying to really feel like people may come up against you. And so once they finally do, you have your barbs already up. And so you may not have the productive conversation. I'll give you an example. Okay. I used to have people who would pronoun me wrong, and
On
I
purpose.
would, well, I'll tell you, either on purpose or even accidental, and I would try to correct them, and sometimes they would even get a little defensive themselves and they would say, "No, I said the right pronoun, I blah 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 blah." And I've learned that sometimes you don't even pick those fights. If they accidentally did it, you just let it go.
Right,
And if they self-correct, you just kind of keep on going and you see who the person is.
right.
So I guess what I'm saying is both sides sometimes can be a little on edge. They don't want to be called transphobic, and the trans person doesn't want to have their identity invalidated. And
Uh,
so we have these conversations that oftentimes go over each other's heads.
and Amy, I'm not sure if you know this. Like, I'm probably told this to you, but I live in South Korea, and
Oh, nice.
I yeah, I live in South Korea, but the thing is that here it's really not even an issue, or it's just like it's so swept under the rug that like it's just not a part of anyone's conversation, right? So when I started hanging out like with the atheist community, I had no idea about any of this stuff, And so I just started asking some questions and just voicing my opinions and concerns. And it was like it just the worst was automatically assumed about me, which is completely not true. You know what I mean? I
Sure.
mean,
And I would say that's where the separation is. There is a difference. One of the last questions was malevolence And I would say malevolence versus ignorance. The question didn't add ignorance, I would say, but that's the difference. If you are admitting ignorance, which is where I'm ignorant about 1,000 million different
Right.
subjects,
Right.
then I think we should come to you with a more charitable way, because you're really just looking for answers. And I would separate that out from malevolent. I'm sending love to Sinister, who is saying, if you don't want to be called transphobic, don't you transphobic things. That exactly. I will say, if you are being malevolent, then that's a totally different story. If someone has already told you, or you're really just going out of your way to be mean, and I think you're the exact opposite. Clearly, you're really just looking to have good conversations. So, although it didn't go well in the past, I hope at least the future conversations go well.
Right, but I just want to say a couple more things, and then I do want to get off because it's Sunday. I just got out of church. I was actually listening because the sermon is in Korean, so I was listening to your the debate while it was going on, but with my earphones. But so I do want to say a couple of things. One is that I really would like to have you back to come back on and just discuss
Absolutely.
what exactly that means to be transphobic, because I mean, like that person just said, well, you're begging the question whether or not, if I believe in something about you, or if I don't believe in something about you, that makes me a transphobic person. I mean, I would really like to hammer that one out, because in my book, like, if I was phobic about you, like, do you think you and I could go out for a beer, and you know what I mean? I could hang out with
No,
you.
well, so I'll separate that out, because I think there
Uh-huh.
are people that have truly held religious beliefs that, although, I mean, the channel often is skepticism and bragging on religion, but because of those truly held religious beliefs, they are not pronouncing me right. All right, I feel like there's not much I could do about that unless talk about the religion, talk about pronouns, but there's a difference still, because I know people. I know, like, I've talked with a debated Ken Hoven, and Ken Hoven went out
Condolences,
of his
condolences.
thank you. But I noticed that when he did that, he didn't pronoun me wrong. He didn't pronoun me at all. And it
Right.
was like there was just a way in his brain, which, once again, I have not many nice things to say about Ken Hoven. But okay, I would accept that if you were forced to work with, not I don't mean forced, but when we work with people, we're forced to work with people. That's just the nature of working in a job or
Yeah.
a corporation.
Right.
And so it's the difference between maybe editing out a pronoun because you religiously don't believe something. And again, the example I used in the debate is taking paperwork and really just going up to someone and going, "Here you go, sir,"
Right.
because
Right.
that's not about religion. That's just, some
That's being an asshole right there.
exact
I would agree with
exactly.
that. I would agree with that 100%. And I do have to say that I was at the position where I wouldn't. Well, first of all, I would misgendering someone or dead naming someone is not even in the cards. That was never even in the cards for me before. You know, it was, hey, I'm not going to refer to you as something that I don't believe is true. So, example, I would have used gender neutral words to deal with someone like yourself in the first place. But after I had some conversations with some atheists, and they actually used the Bible against me to convince me I should actually use pronouns that help align with the
Even
person's.
better.
Yeah, yeah, because I was like, God, this is the definition of irony, man. He's quoting Jesus to say, hey, look, I may not agree with this, but look, I mean, Amy, the last thing in the world I want to do is give you a bad day. You know what I mean?
Thank you.
I would hate to do something that's
What's
going to
up
make
the
your.
screen? Sending so much love. I know he said
Yeah,
that. I felt bad, but I saw him.
I'm a
Sorry.
jerk. No,
Just
and no,
saw Big Screen and Sideshow Nav. Both of them. I just want to send love to. Continue on right away, Empathy. I'm sorry.
no, I'm a Christian, and Kent Hovind is a dick. So I mean,
Yeah.
that guy's an absolute dick. But at
Ramen.
least Actually, I'd have to give him a major bump for at least not misgendering you like that. That's as a Christian. I just did the last thing I want to say. Like as a Christian, I don't want to do something that could possibly trigger you or give you a bad day, or even worse, something that could potentially cause you to hurt yourself. Like that is the last thing in the universe I would want to do. And so
Thank you.
I've been convinced to use these pronouns, even if I don't personally agree with them. It's like,
I
but try to at least understand that from the other side, they're saying it doesn't matter what you believe in, or you
well,
have to actually believe this. You
can
have to
I
believe
tell
it.
you?
I'm like, well, what can I do?
There's a type of person, and I know that it sometimes gets tied to liberalism, but there is just a type of person that just goes to other people and just says, believe what I believe. I think both liberals and conservatives, but it just tends to be a more authoritarian person. And I don't think you win people over. But I'm glad that they won you over, not,
They
the
did.
authoritarian, but theologically. Well, let me criticize Ken Hovind, however, just 1 second. As much as so he was nice to me. I think not to bring up. It's the same reason why I think that that Alex Stein shows me a little respect, which is because Ken Hovind, at his heart, I think believes he's a comedian. Alex Stein is a
Yeah.
comedian, and I am a comedian,
Oh,
and
okay, okay,
so
okay.
and I really do. And I think that you can relax and not take things seriously. But he was very mean to another trans person. He asked, I'm trying to
Um,
remember which trans person, but he asked them what their genitals looked like, and he tried to bring their
oh,
significant over and ask them
um.
about that. But yes, so he can be both of those things.
All right, Amy, I'm gonna get off now, but I do want to ask you just one question. If you transition
Yes.
back to being a man, will you be a new man?
I guess yes, I will. That
Okay.
would.
Hey, have a nice day. Hey, I
I
know I texted a lot, but I really do love you, and I
sending
know you don't
love.
believe in Jesus, but he has drastically changed my life, and the love that I have experienced and the change of my life, I want to extend it out to every human being I possibly meet. Trans, gay, bi, tri, non-binary, whatever, Muslim, Hindu, straight. I mean, I love everybody. So have a nice day, Amy.
Thank you, empathy,
Thank you for having me
respect.
on.
I hope you have a
Okay.
good day as well. And all right, y'all. I think I'm going to just say like one or two more things. I'll answer any questions if anyone has any, but then I'm probably going to head out. Because much as I can normally blab and blab and blab, and I probably could on this subject, but I feel like I would be doing more going around in circles than normal when, my goodness, my beef just tends to be conspiracy theory and superstition and all of that stuff, because that's what I think is more prevalent and dangerous to society. Unfortunately, on the left and the right. That's why politics, it's just, I sound so freaking centrist and moderate. And like the anti-vaccine. Anti-vaccine, unfortunately, for the longest time was predominantly a far left thing. I know now it's a far right thing, and now they've come together. That's fantastic. But it's the moderates that understand what a vaccine is. Oh my goodness. I don't want to force anything on you either there. I just want to debate you, as I want to debate in all these subjects. But yes, agreeing with Sideshow Nav, lovely seeing you as well. Huge difference between actions based in ignorance and malice. And that's why I was talking about on the debate. It's really about everyone gets a freebie. If you pronoun me wrong, maybe you just saw me from the back at a different angle. I've probably pronoun people wrong before, or they've been androgynous, and you just take a guess. But the key is that once you get it wrong and you have been corrected, to then say, okay, that's what you want. It's really not that big a deal. I'm going to call you that pronoun because it makes you happy. I mean, if they're being a dick about whatever, I can't stop people from being dicks. I just mean if you already do have respect for this person, you would do it no matter what. Again, I think it's also separate. Let me just cancel out the one extreme. I think it's different. Someone comes in and says, you know, I want to cut my limb off, or I want to be a giraffe, or something like that. I truly do think that gender is really just the social things we correlate with sex. We don't look at anyone's well, we look at a handful of people's sexes, but not that often. In public, we use secondary sex characteristics. We say our brains just look at the person, and in 2 seconds, and not even 2 seconds, faster than that, we make a decision because we're at Walgreens and we just want to buy whatever is in our hand and get the fuck out of the door. So we use a pronoun. And that just comes from a variety of social things. Let's see. Mac, how much do you think people's ideas of fairness affect their behavior and actions? And number 2, how much a factor are ideas of fairness in our laws? A lot. So I'll break this down in 2 ways. We could go into how I talk about morality. I'm weird in that I am this middle ground, just to talk about how I'm a centrist and everything, between objective and subjective morality. And why I'm bringing that up is because one of my subjective factors of morality, I believe, is fairness. I believe fairness is one of the crucial, when we talk about sports, that's what we're talking about. What we're talking about, is it fair that insert whoever we're talking about is playing against insert whoever we're talking about? Again, I have to really fight to care about sports. My family, I am born and raised in Philly, y'all. So I should, if you are, I'm dating this podcast now, but because they're about, apparently in an hour, it'll be the day of the Super Bowl. And apparently the team from which I know, Fly Eagles Fly, exactly, that I was born in is apparently going to be. So I'm supposed to care. And yet I really don't. I like wings. I'll buy wings tomorrow when my family here watches them. But yes, we're talking about fairness. Why do we care about, the Jake Paul against whoever is going up? The random person he's going up against? Because we ask ourselves, is this really a fair fight? That's all we really care about. That's what sports is. And so one side is saying this is fair because look at this group from this group, and the other side is saying look at it from this way. I don't want transgenders excluded from sports, and yet I do understand that biology is different. How can we make that fair? Sometimes it's doing a hormone level test and saying, well, even though they transitioned pre-puberty, their hormones are different, and so we think it's fair. Is there a sport out there that can't happen? I don't know. But the solution is for us to figure out, how is it fair to biological women and how is it fair to transgender women? And we generally doing that by making it more big tent than closed tent, going forwards, not backwards. But being forwards doesn't mean you destroy everything. It's how do we figure it out? A problem, nonetheless, the solution is us coming together to figure it out, if that's what we choose to care about. Because I don't really about sports. But that's the hardest one. I'll tell you why that's hard as well, is because what they say is that if you have transitioned before puberty, then we'll let you play. But then there's a lot of talk about gender affirming care for children and how we really don't want to do that. And we want to wait until they're post-puberty to start transitioning. Well, these two things, in my view, are in conflict. And once again, I don't really want to rush kids onto pills. God knows we have the pharmaceutical industry running rampant. but I also don't want to harm kids if we have taken years and years, really teenagers at that point, because kids don't go on pills. Really, it is years of therapy if you're a child. That's really all you have access to. And then finally, as you become a teenager, you have access to puberty blockers. And finally, if you have had access for years of therapy and years of puberty blockers, you can get years of hormones, which is what I have been doing. It's been highly successful for my life. And I'm happy to have transitioned. Any other questions? I guess this is last call, y'all, because as much as I love you and I could probably rant, I feel like I'm eventually just going to go on to other subjects. I have become more interested in the LGBTQ debates, and I would say I've almost done that kicking and screaming. Not by the wonderful James from Modern Day Debate. He was fantastic. I'm honored to be on there. But I feel like there was a time that oh, I hit the microphone. I'm so sorry. That's probably good for your sound quality. But there was a time where I thought we were going to be everyone in our community, the LGBT community, said, we asked ourselves, what is next? Because, they went into terrible, the people who hated us would be, and I'm not saying not any of these lovely people or any of the people that disagreed, but the people who legitimately just hate us, who would just go, oh, the next thing you're going to have sex with kids, you're going to have sex with dogs. And we all looked at each other and we went, okay, those people are crazy. They're just hateful human beings. They just don't understand what sex and gender is. But we then asked ourselves, well, what is next? And we had no idea. We're like, I don't know. Maybe it's going to be asexuality. Maybe people with disabilities. I'll tell you what ended up happening. Just more transgender stuff. It just kept going. And so I guess that means we haven't worked it out of our system. Dave Chappelle will tell us, making jokes and having conversations is what normalizes it. That's right. Never in a million years. And so that is what I am here to do, have those conversations, because that is the only way to normalize it. It is the only way to be a part of society, is to not ignore these conversations, but have them. I thought it was a good debate. I think I'm biased because I just vibe with everybody. Maybe that's not the right thing to do when you disagree with people, but you win more people over with sugar or with honey than vinegar, right? Oh my goodness. It was at some points. I think, it got heated. It definitely got heated at some points. I probably could have even backed up, him better on some. Well, I tried to back him up on some points. I think that, hi Jay, I am trans. He made some good points. A lot of the things that he was saying, I agreed with. Some of the things I got what he was saying, but I think he'll get better at it in future debates with delivery. Yeah, okay. And some people just want to know. Oh, thank you, Alpha. Sending so much love. One of the 3 best trans women involved in this stream right now. Sending love to Sinister. Also sending love to Stephanie, who I can't help but watch the Transatlantic when, I prepare for debates like this. And so, I normally do other topics. I am a science gal. I am a skeptic and all of those labels. But the politics is hot for it. I probably would take James up on future offers. Well, thank you, Davegar. I'm sending so much love. You guys are so amazing. Guys, gals, everybody out there. And yeah, I think in a moment we are gonna head out. Is there any other? Let me see if there's anyone else live that I can send you to. Oz is doing a DJ. I'm sending out. He is still our brother out there. If you would like some Ozzy Oz. But go check out the debate. I'll also, let me send out the debate link if you do want to check it out. Thank you so much, Jay. I actually view that as a compliment. I will take that so much. I'll tell you, I don't talk about, I make LGBTQ jokes because I think that they're relevant and that they're tied oftentimes to the fundamentalist religious people who I think hate us the most. I know there are actually some fundamentalists that love us, but many fundamentalists that aren't so happy about us. And so I know this will sound funny. I used to talk about it more when I first came out. I think when you first come out as transgender, you're hot off the market. You want to defend it. You've had all of this pent up emotion. You've had oftentimes people discriminate against you. I have been pulled aside. I was pulled aside. My favorite story, still sending love to Applebee's, though those companies right now, they're all pulling out of everything. But I was pulled aside at Applebee's. I was told that I was hired as one gender and I better dress like that gender. But over the years, I have mellowed. I have come to understand people, I think, and the hate, although it's directed at me, it's oftentimes, I hate to play the Freudian card, but it's oftentimes stuff that's going on with another person. Again, that's not just to say that anyone who doesn't know anything, about transgenders, doesn't have valid questions, can ask things. Empathy, I thought, was trying to explain how they just wanted to ask questions. Thank you so much, Sideshow. Yes, I want to get back on the debate circuit. I want to do more religious debates. I want to do more, I would even do more flat earth and Bigfoot, aliens, all sorts of stuff. But the politics debates have been fun as well, especially when it's one like this. I think this is one that I can more easily defend. Come to Newark. Oh, I so want to. Can I tell you? Newark, New Jersey. I've been there before. I really do want to come to DebateCon. And if I don't come to this, then I got to set up a way to come up to more DebateCons in the future. I'm glad they're continuing. All right, exactly. I think Mac's sending off, and I think I am about to send off myself. All right, y'all. I'll do the final shout outs. I'll tuck us into bed. If I get anything else in those few seconds, I'll say it. But I hope you all misfits had a fun night on this Midnight Ranting, a modern day debate inspired after party on is saying trans women aren't women transphobic. I do want to thank my co-host, James W. I know he's not on here tonight, but he is in many of our fantastic streams. Go check him out. And he's also a debater. Oh, go check out. That's funny. Mark Reid had a modern day debate last debate. I haven't watched it yet. However, I know that he probably kicked butt because it's Mark. He's just an amazing human being in and of himself, very knowledgeable. I imagine he did amazing. amazing. So go check out that along with his channel. I want to thank all of the people in chat, our awesome mods who make this stream so great, and lovely viewers like you that make this channel even possible. If you enjoy the show, please like, follow, subscribe. I said it, YouTube. I said it. God, you can let them go now. Hamas releasing more prisoners. My ADD. Who knows what's going to go on there? What a crazy time. It might be a Riviera. You never know. My goodness. Oh, my goodness. But hey, as it stands right now, they're at a peace right now. So we'll take what we can get. Trading and swapping people. And lovely viewers like you who make this channel possible. Yes, I already said you said that. Or hey, why not leave a comment once the video's done? You can also leave a super thanks, though, leaving love to all of the people who sent in a super chat. Thank you, empathy, respect. Thank you as well to all of our channel members with our evolving badge system, as well as our Patreons at patreon.com/Amy Newman. And with that, I am Amy Newman, and we will see you all on the next episode of Skeptic Ball Z. I love you all. Good night. Mwah. Waha. Ha. Good night, sending love, and go check out Ember, another amazing one. Mwah, good night.